Turkey could be part of this broader framework, sir?
While I would not like to be outrightly dismissive, I do think that this NATO business is an overused metaphor and a poorly chosen one at that. I mean, what is NATO as a defense alliance? President Macron many years said that it's brain dead. If Trump does what he's threatening to do in Greenland, NATO is dead. When has NATO ever been a potent defense alliance? I do not quite recall. So that's one part of it. The other is, suddenly this Pakistan doing these defense agreements with Saudi Arabia and now potentially Turkey. What is it going to do? I mean, Pakistan is behaving like a military juvenile. It couldn't protect its own skies on 10th of May, and very seriously, those J-10s, J-17s were scurrying for cover backwards. Is it going to protect Saudi Arabian skies? And is this alliance going to stand up to an Israeli attack backed by the United States? I mean, this is something really over the top. And Pakistan is a nuclear power. Are you telling me that its nuclear assets or nuclear weapons are to be used in an existential crisis when the core of your existence is threatened? Are these nuclear weapons going to be tossed around to defend Saudi Arabia and to defend Turkey? I mean, is the United States not watching? So this is clearly a case of some, very, I would say, juvenile military behavior. And Trump should seriously look at this. This great field marshal that he keeps eulogizing is somebody of, I don't know whether they're harsh words, but very low IQ and simply no understanding of the strategic dynamic. Having said that, the Islamist intrusion into our neighborhood is something we should worry about. I mean, the fact that, Turkish ministers of defense industries, DG ISI have been traveling to Bangladesh. So all that, I mean, we should not be dismissive about. But ultimately, I mean, strength in the recent past has not come from alliances. It has come from autonomous military capacities. Take Israel. See what the Americans have done in Venezuela. So I'm all for, a relook at the positioning of the instrument of force in our strategic calculus. Strengthen yourself autonomously. Look at these threats in the region. But this business of a Islamist NATO alliance is clearly over the top. In my view, I don't know what Ambassador Sikri thinks.
Okay, let me go across to Ambassador Sikri. Ambassador Sikri, well, Islamic NATO is a word which I used. People can accuse me, maybe I have done it to draw the attention, but the idea...
Not you alone, it is being bandied around.
No, General Shukla, I know, I appreciate your point of view. My point of view is, madam, how do you see this conversation between Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, as General Shukla said, now Bangladesh becoming extremely cozy with Pakistan? How do you see this development in terms of even non-military relationship? And, when the press conference took place during Operation Sindhu, the generals categorically said that drones made in Turkey were involved. And when in recent at home at the Army Chief's residence, that drone was displayed, which India shot down.
Yes, but actually broadly I would really agree with what General Shukla has said, for the simple reason that there are too many complex factors here. Firstly, I think Pakistan is really enjoying its place in the sun, as they imagine now, ever since the revival of the Pakistan-USA relationship. So now they're trying to draw Turkey into it. We know that some months or maybe a couple of years back, there was a new attempt to make a new alliance within the OIC with Pakistan, Turkey and Malaysia coming together and trying to create a new center of power within the OIC, but Saudi Arabia quickly squashed that and then they were back to square one. How can we talk of an Islamic NATO when Turkey is also a member of the other NATO, of the NATO which has been in existence for all these decades? So does Turkey play two sides of the same coin? How are they going to do it? So I think that this is really a bit of hype by both Pakistan and Turkey. Turkey is certainly enjoying its position within South Asia in a new way, because they not only have been very traditionally friends with Pakistan, but now with Bangladesh, they have come in a big way. And whether it is trade or whether it is defense equipment, they are promising a lot of support to Pakistan. What we have at the moment is the Saudi Arabia-Pakistan Defense Agreement. we have that. And it is said, although nobody has seen the text, it has not been released, it is said to have a clause of collective security arrangements, very similar to what NATO has in Article 5. So that is one thing that we do have. But I think that agreement was seen largely as a way in which Saudi Arabia would finance Pakistan's purchases from USA. So that was being seen a lot in that context. Now, bringing Turkey into this agreement, which is under discussion right now, said to be under discussion, although neither Turkey nor Pakistan has said anything on it. But bringing Turkey into this is supposed to be bringing in the technology. So they will have the high tech. Saudi Arabia will have the money, and Pakistan has the nukes. So these is the three aspects. But how do you again reconcile this with Turkey being a member of NATO? So they are bound by their position in NATO, bound by the clauses of NATO, and then how do you expect them to be part of another NATO, whether Islamic or Muslim or any other name that you give to? But security-wise, Turkey's presence in South Asia is something that is worrisome because they are bringing their drone technology both to Pakistan and to Bangladesh, and quite clearly with Asim Muni's statement about the next attack coming from the east, Pakistan is all set to use Bangladesh as it did in the pre-71 era. So that is definitely Pakistan's objective because they want to bring in that degree of closeness between Pakistan and Bangladesh. And it is being said that Pakistan and Bangladesh are going to conclude a defense pact very soon. So I think that this is something, and they're also talking about supplying these same JF-17 aircrafts to Bangladesh from Pakistan. So Pakistan is reveling in this newfound. They're saying that, now we don't even need IMF money anymore because the JF-17 manufactured by them are becoming so popular that it's receiving so many orders from it from all around the world, including, of course, Bangladesh and some of the other like Libya and others. So they think that they are now, going to be going to wean themselves away from IMF loans as well. I think this is a lot of hype, but security-wise, definitely. I've been saying for the last 18 months that Pakistan's attempts to realign itself with Bangladesh are very serious and are a security concern for India. So we will have to look at that very carefully.
I'll put it differently, and that is the question for General Shukla after the break. And the question is, sir, people expected Asim Munir to go into hibernation after Operation Sindoor, but what has happened is that the Pakistan has come out of some sort of a diplomatic hibernation, and it has started building an alliance in whatever way you may put it, in terms of its diplomacy with Bangladesh, or sort of relationship with Saudi Arabia, sir, or with Turkey. Why has that happened under Munir? Let me straight away go to General Shukla, sir. My question remains the same. How come Pakistan has been able to come out of this political hibernation, sir?
So you see what the story that Pakistan has sold to the ill-informed, and I would reiterate ill-informed. See, what is the purpose of air power? Is the purpose of air power not to control your skies? So I ask yet again, when Rawalpindi was hit, when Raiwind was hit, when Noor Khan was hit, when Bhulari was hit, where were these J-10s, J-17s? So all these customers that have lined up purportedly to buy the J-17 being manufactured in Pakistan, kindly revisit your shopping list. नहीं तो मुबारक हो आपको ये J-17s. ये कहाँ थे 10 मई को? And so this is this ill-informed narrative that Pakistan has been able to spin around, but it is not a serious military question. And yet, may I say, what is the serious military question? And that is the whole issue here, that we must do two things in my mind. And I'm now talking of the Indian context. What should really worry us? We should read the geopolitical leaves a little more thoughtfully and carefully, and then see what we need to do with our instrument of force. And here, the Americans' national security strategy and the events beyond, or the events thereafter, suggest to me that the long-term game of the Americans is to secure the Western Hemisphere, but to project power into the Indo-Pacific to contain Chinese hegemony. And it is doing it on the back of many measures. Tariffs is one tool, but on the back of a $1.5 trillion American military enterprise. And it is just not the money. See the reforms that the Americans have carried out, in full marks to Trump and exit. Procurement reforms, reforms in terms of lethality, war-winning attributes, and it seemingly seems to have worked in absolute resolve and done wonders. So India must revisit the utility of force, see where we need to position our instrument of force in our strategic calculus? Do we need to, enhance our defense spending? Now, these are the serious issues. Do we need to remodel our military around the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution? This is what Israel has done successfully, the United States has done successfully, and not get, too, shall I say, disturbed by these red herrings of J-17s being bought, because let the Pakistan Air Chief answer me. Where were the J-10s, J-17s on 10th May? Is the purpose of air power to abandon your skies and get Noor Khan base hit? So, I mean, that doesn't worry me, but there are other serious questions which do worry me. Positioning of the instrument of force in the strategic. And just one phrase. There's an old, I think, military adage which says, speak softly and carry a big stick. We need to lower down the rhetoric and concentrate on capacity building deterrence, because that is indeed a serious question in the light of the threats that challenge Indian statecraft.